Greetings.
Greetings, Nia Acoma, Moncho, and Nawasha, the mighty Acoma House Initiative.
Today we are coming to you to talk about why counseling doesn't normally work.
Yeah, we have this little saying that we say is that counseling is the new black, but without black culture, it's absolutely whack. And so we want to talk about 3 reasons why a lot of people are flocking to counseling now. A lot of black people, a lot of our people, but they ain't really changing their reality. And so we want to deal with that.
And the first thing is that counseling is just ineffective.
Yes.
So even though I think it's actually a good thing that people are going to counseling, I think it's coming from a desire to want to heal, and it's coming into popular conversation that we could be healing through counsel, through seeking somebody else's advice, somebody else's input. But I think that what's really interesting about the way we go about counseling right now is that for the most part, Moncho says a lot, we end up just processing pain in counseling. So even a lot of the reasons that we want to go to counseling is a pain point, and we end up kind of like just wanting a friend, or needing a friend.
Right.
And then we just process the pain over and over. And how that is really ineffective is that most of the time, people who tell us that they have gone to counseling say that it didn't work for them, that they didn't get something that could help them in their immediate situation and in their relationship specifically. So although they felt better having the ear and even having somebody hold them accountable, they actually didn't see changes in their life. And this is, something that most of the people who say they've gone to counseling say that they felt better. That's the thing that they can really say, but not that anything actually changed for them.
Yeah, and so being therapists and having worked at various counseling firms, I saw this. And so as we design what we're doing, we believe in wise counsel. In fact, we have the WISE, Holistic Immersion Synergy Effect. So we offer wise counsel at the Acoma House Initiative, but it rests on the 3 pillars of psychological reparation, relationship education, and cultural initiation. So what we're doing is repairing some of the traumas that we've been through individually and then collectively through our culture. And then we're teaching the why and how, or the art and science of Black love culture. What are the best practices? And so we need to know that if we're going to have great relationships. And then finally, that's relationship education. Then finally, it's cultural initiation. We're going to unlock that deep latent God force that's in you that wants to come out and get busy and show you your greatest self. Without the context of your indigenous culture, it comes out occasionally. And unfortunately, mostly through pressurous situations, it comes out. But you don't have to be in fight or flight to bring out your gifts if they're nurtured in a holistic culture. So the wise counsel of Acoma House Initiative, holistic immersion synergy effect, is really rooted in the 3 principles of psychological reparations, relationship education, and cultural initiation.
And that's what makes it effective.
Absolutely effective.
So the next thing that we see about modern, typical, cognitive behavior type therapy is that it's inefficient. So, this kind of goes off of it being ineffective in that most people say that they've been to counseling either for too short of a time. Like they went to one session, they didn't like it, they didn't go back. And they also didn't find a whole nother counselor. People say, I tried that and I just didn't like it. It's not for me. Or the extreme opposite, where people are in counseling for 5 years, 10 years, or just like they have the therapist on retainer. You have a perpetual ear, which I think sometimes is coming from American culture, in that we don't have strong community connections. We don't have, I would say, strong bonds, even in our nuclear family sometimes. And for real, I think we don't have genuine friendships where we really meet and connect and socialize and overlap our lives. We're very individualistic. So people end up with someone either expecting an instant connection and not getting it, or they end up with someone for 5, 7, 10 years. And there's nothing wrong with having the counsel, and having like a community for a certain amount of time. But for most people who are having that pain point again, or having a problem, if you go to counseling for 5 years and you don't actually resolve the problem, that's where it becomes that it's, inefficient. And this is what we have found. Most people don't know how to identify their problem, so they need support and need help. If someone helps you identify the problem, but all you do is process the pain point, it's hard to actually move past the problem, especially behaviorally. You can cognitively understand more about the problem, but amazingly, the more you understand about a problem, you can just like manifest the problem more.
Right.
Manifest the
The
problem
more you focus
better,
on it. Yeah.
because exactly, it's what you're focused on.
Yeah.
So this is something that we see is that a lot of times counseling, because it's not holistic, because it has that bias that's already built into it, that is not understanding Black culture, or understanding it and not admitting to the challenges in white culture or oppressive culture, it's very difficult for the counseling to be efficient and to be succinct and to be able for, a person who's receiving it to feel and to know and to see that something is immediately affecting their life.
So the way we address it is we have cultural maintenance therapy, which is a blend of strategic intervention therapy and indigenous cultural rituals. And so we combine these two to be efficient and cut down the time of processing the pain and learning the techniques that will transform and change your reality on a conscious, subconscious, and an unconscious level that only cultural ritual penetrates to. And so for us, when you come to us, you're going to be with us max 7 to 8 weeks on any one problem. Now, you can deal with successive problems. However, when you get holistic solutions, what you'll find is when you learn and experience transformation in one area, you immediately see how you can apply it in another area. Because as we see, most people, especially in relationships, are dealing with like about 3 to 4, maybe go to 6 problems. And in 20 years working with thousands of people, we don't see more than about 6 or 7 problems. So you get us for about 6 or 7 weeks. And that's how we address number 2.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing that we're going to say today is that the counseling that we are typically going for is kind of unimpressive. So kind of dull, clumsy, awkward, and it's not spicy enough or doesn't speak to us holistically enough for anything to actually stick or last. A lot of times we're going to counseling, and again, I think it's because of, the culture that we're in. We're looking for something, even though we don't know how to say that, we're looking for something that's going to work and something that is going to be a fix to the problem. And like we said, because it's not effective and it's inefficient, when we're going through the experience, although we might feel good in the moment, we're left with something that is not changing us. It's actually, I would say, more of a temporary thing, or more of a mask, or more of just a detached awareness that you have about yourself or the situation. And it is not the thing that really, takes over you and really makes a change in you, the way that initiation or the way that a cultural understanding really pulls something out of you, unlocks something within you, and helps you actually develop. It's a little bit of a challenge because of that rapport building with the counselor, and having them be able to have kind of like the control of diagnosing you in a way, and then not necessarily doing anything about the diagnosis. So I think it's a little unimpressive when you have the I am statements like I am a fill in the blank that your counselor has diagnosed you with. It's a little limiting, which I think is what makes it dull in some ways. Although you may find peaks and little glimmers of inspiration coming through just maybe having the words for what you've been going through, or having, like a little bit of awareness, or a little bit of insight into what you've been going through, overall, I think it's not very motivating. It's not very inspiring to just get a diagnosis,
Yeah. So we offer the Acoma Soul Method, which is Akoma Soul, which is the African cultural orientation method application of self and others understanding love systems. So we're teaching you systems theory through relationship, which is the way you should approach relationship, because the system of the couple becomes a key part of the family, which becomes a key part of the community, which becomes a key part of the nation, which becomes a key part of a legacy through time. So you have to understand it in its layers, and that's what we're offering. So it's designed to speak to some of the tenets that are latent within our nature. And we're a people of rhythm. We're a people of spirit. We're a people of style. And so what we're offering in terms of a therapeutic milieu is that. And I think this is the way that we address what is missing in modern culture. So again, we're saying that modern therapeutic application, ineffective, inefficient, and it's not elegant. The Acoma House Initiative has addressed that, and we want you to check it out.
So you have an opportunity to join us. We said, as Mansho said, that the maximum work with us is 7 to 8 weeks, but for a limited amount of time, we're offering what we used to call our intro session, our intro package, which is just 3 sessions of working with us, but it's enough for you to address your most pressing challenge, right? So we know that people can make a change when they use the strategies in less than 30 days. You can absolutely have practiced, made a change in your thought and your speech and your action when it comes to being in relationship with someone else. It's not the things that we just said. It's not ineffective, it's not inefficient, and it's not dull. It's going to be something that is quick. It's going to be something that you'll see from the very first session that it works for you. And you're also going to be able to have a different understanding, have a different application, and see results in a very short amount of time. So we are transitioning out of this package, but luckily for you,
it's a limited time offer.
We haven't transitioned yet. So
Yes.
This is your opportunity to say if there's something that hasn't been moving because you either haven't been attracted to going to counseling in the American traditional sense, or if you've gone and it didn't really do anything for you or didn't do what you wanted, or if you're in it right now and you would like to experience something cultural and something that adds another element of relevancy and that is more dynamic, then this is something that would supplement what you
Get with us.
Yes, get with us.
So we're looking forward to hearing from you. The link for free consultation is in this description. And as always, until we see you, we greeting you in the universal words of Black love culture. And we say,
Ni Acoma.
Ni Acoma.